All right. Well, welcome to another day of dark arts, or another paint, anyways. But this one is actually a special one. This one is actually going to be pretty much an unboxing, as well as a sponsor. We actually have a sponsor for this one. This paint stream is actually brought to you by WTFunk. Yeah, love the name. It's actually a Discord server that has its own community around Dungeons and Dragons. You know, they have areas for people that live in, let's say we're going to say Russia, or we'll say the UK. I believe I have one of my players are from them, and they're from Australia. Not the Friday campaign you guys watch, but the Saturday campaigns. I'm trying to see if this link works. If it works, let's find out. Let's check it out. See what happens. Let's make sure it works. That is not it. Whoopsie. Well, let's check that out. Log in. Nope, that's not what we want. Alright, so we are having a little trouble here. Let's make sure we can get this link working properly. Alright, so we'll do a quick link real quick. Let's see if I can't type it in. Make it a little bit easier on me. Let's see. Copy link. Let's try that one. Let's try that one. There we go. Now we got it working properly. There we go. Alright. It took me a second, but we got it. Alright. So, WTFunk and I believe Temporary Siren sent me this. It is a red sled paint kit from WizKids. I believe. Yep, WizKids. Licensed by Dungeons and Dragons. It's got the miniature inside. Looks like it's got Valio colors. Looks like it's got 12 of them. Comes with 2 brushes and a water pot. Well, sorry, I like my water pot, so we're going to stick with that. And yeah, so let's open this up. Let me find a knife real quick. Or something to open it up with. Alright, let's do this. Let's do this. Alright, there's that. Alright, so we've got that. We've got that. I think when we go to take a finished picture of him, we will actually put him back in this. So he actually looks nice in the box. We'll keep the box in one side piece. Alright. So, there's the colors, the 2 brushes. We're going to pop those out of there. Whoa! Shot right at me. I'm not sure if you just saw my bald spot or not, but we're going to go with it. Alright, so we got our paint thing here. We've actually opened one of these guys before, but we're going to do something a little different this time. Since this is a unique situation, it calls for unique paint. Alright, as always. And we have the slide there. It probably shouldn't have come out that easy, but okay. Alright, we'll get in here. We'll pull this piece out from underneath there. We probably won't use it on this one. We'll get that little guy right there. There we go. So, first things first. It's got some nice colors in here. Might use those on a different miniature. And for that, we are going to get rid of that. We don't need the paint tray, because this guy deserves his own little paint job. Now, WTFunk is, like I said, really good server to join. If you're looking for a game or you're trying to DM a game, but you don't like the other places. They're a 18 plus server, not in a bad way. They just don't want the melodrama from little kids, I'm assuming, which I agree with them sometimes. But I love my kids. Wouldn't have it without them. But I think it protects everybody there. I may be wrong with that, but just to give everybody a heads up, they do require an age on that. And it's actually something that I kind of agree with. It allows people to be more mature. It allows new DMs to actually get some players without having to worry about other stuff like that. But I would not, and I would not diss them for that either. I love the fact you tend to get more mature people, especially some people that are aged to D&D. So if you're new to the whole digital, it's perfect. I see Temporary Siren is actually one of the first to join us as a subscription for our weekly, or for this week's special, since we were doing throughout the week. Any subscribers that we get, whether you use your Twitch, whether you pay out of pocket, whatever way you want, if you become a subscriber to us from last Friday to this till tomorrow, every subscription we get, we're donating $1 to Extra Life. And that brings me to another thing. Extra Life is one of the main things that I like about WTFunk. They do one shots, and they ask for the players, and the DM to donate to Extra Life. Extra Life has been in the D&D community for years. You guys can actually buy special things made by Wizards of the Coast that the money goes to just to do that. I think the recent one they came out with was the Blue Sapphire Dragon. And with that, we are going to move into the next part, which is the factor that with a Slad has had a lot of iterations. They've been here since first edition, and they've been able to survive everything about Dungeons and Dragons. They've never once hit the chopping block, at least as far as I could tell. Normally I do a little bit of lore, but these guys are so far into the community that sometimes it's really... let's see, I'm going to figure out the word. With the Slad, since they've had such a long lore with Dungeons and Dragons, I think that if we didn't touch on that, at least part of it, and explain the way they are and what they are, I think we would do the Slad a very big disservice. Especially with this one, because unlike all the other ones, I plan as I paint. But with this Slad here, I have thought of a really in-depth storyline that requires to know a bit of lore from the Slads. So, without further ado, we will start off with I'd say the most known, which is the red and the blue. Now, these guys, the red and the blue, and all Slads in particular, are born of pure chaos. They believe 100% in individuality. You know, if you're a party of 5 players and you're going up against a bunch of Slads, they believe so much in individuality that you could potentially stand in front of a line of a bunch of Slads to prove that they're individual. They don't fight you as an army. They actually find that to be disgusting and disrespectful to the individual. And the red and the blue are the lowest of the totem poles. And the way they reproduce is really, really weird. So, the way a red reproduces, they have like this certain time thing that they've got to get around a life stone. And during that time, they do the funky and fertilize their seeds. Then they go out pretty much on a killing spree and try to claw at the closest thing they can. And when they claw at them, they inject the seed and then they move on to the next one. With the red Slads, what happens is that it basically causes a little, like, an inside parasite to start taking over, and it will actually kind of cause a curse. And it will actually start feeding on the insides of the character that they've scratched. And when that happens, and when it becomes large enough to pretty much be hatched, it comes out as a sladpole, which in D&D lore they call it a tadpole, just for its similar things, which I think sladpole is a lot cooler, a lot more funnier, because it comes from a slad. And this slad tadpole, its first instinct is to eat, 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 eat. So it's going to run away, it's not going to fight, and it's just going to go start devouring rats, smaller vermins, until it can get to the bigger stuff, until it becomes a blue slad. Yep. Reds give birth, or reproduce blue slads. Now, blue slads, on the other hand, are a little bit different. They start the same. They go to the life stone and the reproductive stone, same way as the red slad. But if you were scratched by a blue slad during this time, you actually start to transform into a slad. You become a slad. You start to deform, and you start to shrink, and you start to just transform into this toad creature. But when that happens, they become a red slad. Well, you know, most people are like, okay, I mean, what's so bad about that? Well, the worst part is that the red slads and the blue slads hate each other to the point to where they will fight each other if they're found in the same area. Now, when it comes to the reproducing, wow, I think I was a broken CD for a second there. They actually will give the new red slad and the new blue slads to the representing colors. But they despise the opposite colors. Blue hate the red hate the blue. Alright, so going up a notch. Now, during the reproductive services of a slad, whether red or blue, they can infect anything, no matter what it is. They've been known to infect pit fiends. to try and make a more powerful slad. And in doing so, they also know that there's one weakness. That any type of spell that pretty much heals at a high enough level will kill the situation. It'll stop a blue from morphing, and it'll stop a red from eating through. And with that, they tend to have kind of a prison area, a bunch of cages that they trap everything in, so that because they know that it's easy to kill off a young slad before it's completely done. So you could go to a slad camp and you could notice several cages with animals of all different shapes and sizes. Pit fiends, they can even infect celestials. But celestials, it's a lot harder for them, especially if they haven't used up all of their healing magic. So they don't always catch the celestials, but they can get that far. Nothing, even a slad, is not immune to this reproductive setup for the red and the blues. Now, since the red and the blue are the kind of lowest on the totem pole, they're considered the thugs of the slad society. But without the red or the blue, none of the other colors can become what they are. So if they were to initially infect a spellcaster, somebody that's able to use Arcana, they would create a green slad. Now, the green slad is known to be more stronger and more powerful than the red and the blues. So both the red and the blues will take care of a green slad. They won't give it away. They will nourish it, make sure it's got enough to eat, and they will actually take care of it, because a green slad becomes a gray slad. Now, a gray slad is a high wisdom, high spell casting ability. And so they become kind of the higher ups. And they become more respected because a gray slad will actually protect and create the life stone or the reproductive stone. And after a while, a gray slad will actually kind of go on a pilgrimage through the chaotic realm, which is where they technically come from. So if you meet them in the material world, they're there for a reason. When it comes to an army of slads, the easiest saying you can put with it is you knock one slad down, or we'll start a little bit sooner than that. If you die to a slad, the story is over. But if you knock down that slad, there's an entire line of thousands more waiting to take its place. They are so incoordinated, I'm pretty sure I butchered that word, that if one slad is fighting someone, they will not jump in. They will wait until that slad falls before they take its place. And it's been known that fighting slads is very irritating, especially if you have a place to go, because there's another one just slightly stronger standing right behind him. And then we have the death slads, which is the highest up. It's the pilgrimage that the gray slads go on to be transformed. It's where they go into to do something. None of the lore is actually really pinpointed on what exactly they do. Some of it I read that a gray slad becomes a death slad after eating other gray slads. So cannibalism could be a thing. But then they come back and they become more powerful. Now, as far as lore is concerned, I have not seen any other colors. But we are today. So, they're not 100% particularly the smartest bunch out there, but they are smart enough to wait their turn and to fight fairly. They're not going to go to war. They don't like war. They find it as an insult to their individuality. I've said that already. But they actually have been known to tear down entire armies before. So, in looking into that Slad's lore, I got to thinking, since it doesn't really say, my thought was, what happens if a red Slad or a blue Slad infect a mind flayer? Had to remember that word. So, well, the blue, if it's a blue one, the mind flayer would start to transform. If it's a red one, it pretty much eats the mind flayer from the inside out. But I got to thinking, what would happen to a purple Slad? So, my thoughts on that is a purple Slad 100% is going to be unique. So, with that, they're going to be smarter. They're going to know how to talk in more than one language. They're going to learn pretty quickly. They're going to be able to set traps. They're going to be able to trick people. They're going to literally be able to, I wouldn't say talk their way out, because even with them being a purple Slad, he's not going to be able to fluently talk. When I keep thinking of him talking, he's going to use a telepathic link between the two people. He's going to have more manners, and he's going to pretty much think all the other Slads aren't right. He's going to have some purpose to him. He's still going to be 100% chaotic neutral. As long as you don't hurt him, he won't hurt you. Yes, Slads are pretty much giant toads. That's pretty much, but they are all individuals. No Slad looks identical. They may have the same same colors. A blue Slad standing next to another blue Slad may look completely different. The spikes on their back will be bigger. The blue will be a different shade. But they never look the same. Slads have the ability to swim through chaotic matter like nothing. Now, if we were to try and mess with chaotic matter, it would just eat us up. It would dissolve us. But they are able to swim through it. So, my thoughts is what would happen to a purple Slad? Well, the first thing is that anybody that sees a purple Slad, I believe the first words out of their mouth are going to be WTF. Who is our sponsor today? What the Funk server, Discord server. They're a great server. When I go to take a break to let the paint dry, we will actually go over that. And we'll actually just go through your actual server, and I will show you exactly things that I like. And some things that maybe could use a little differential. But that's for my opinion. You may like the way they have it set up. I do run one-shots for them during their um, during their charity events and stuff like that. My Wednesday game actually ended up coming from their one shot. We did one for St. Patrick's Day. And in doing so, I ended up taking on that campaign. We actually turned it into a big campaign, and we play every other Wednesday. But without further ado, let's get in painting. So we want purple. Let's go with purple worm. Definitely gonna need to mix some colors here. The good news is this guy is already primered, so I don't have to do any of that. A tad bit of black. See how that turns out. Let's see. I think we need a little bit more purple there. Alright. One tip I would say, I seem to do it a lot, do not leave your bristles in the water. It bends your brushes, and then that's one of the things that causes them to fray. So, let's see, we're going to go ahead and do this. I like that. It's a little bit darker. There we go. Alright. Let's adjust this camera a little bit so we can get a little closer to the hands. Alright, so we know his initials are WTF. So, definitely an unusual name for any creature. But when you've got a slad come walk up to you that's not out to take your head off, I'm pretty sure you're going to think, what the... Yep, I'm not going to finish that word. So, his name is WTF. And there's two reasons for that. Because he was never given an actual name. He thinks his name is actually WTF. All right, let's see. Give me a second here. Alright, so it looks like Nightbot is working again. That's awesome. So unfortunately, normally I've been trying to get some music in for you guys, But in doing so, I ended up running into a situation uploading it to YouTube, and we were getting a lot of demonetizations. So, unfortunately, if there's music, it's me singing, and I'm sorry. So, let's get back into WTF. WTF is a purple slad made by a slad infecting a mind flayer. We've established that. Yay, Trapper still gotta do, or Darkish Power still gotta do all this. Whoops. I'm gonna have to definitely bleep that out later. So, well, some of you know my name. But, with that, what does a slad that is shunned by all other slads, not to the point of killing it, but just shunned in particular, what does a slad do? Well, slads gotta eat. So I guess TikTok, we've got to feed them. And it looks like Trigger Happy up there is making dinner. So I guess Trigger Happy is the one feeding him. Or her. Or it. Or they. Because there may be more than one. Right now, we only know of WTF. So, again, thank you to WTFunk and to Temporary Siren for supplying me with this miniature today. So, we're doing a base coat of purple and a dark layer, so we don't have to worry too much about making a mess. We'll get it all over the place. And that's probably the first thing I would tell anybody is make sure you get it everywhere on your miniature. Because certain areas, it's going to get redonkulous trying to touch up those areas. So, don't be afraid to put more in one spot, because you can easily clean off the brush and just start cleaning up the paint. I think we're going to have to do 2 coats of purple on this one. I'll leave the front up there so we have a little bit of fun there. Now, with that, I was going to go into my daughter's room and steal from her something from one of her dolls. And just because I thought it would be cool and funny and wonderful, because one of the things that WTFunk has is a merch store that you can buy WTFunk items, which they help pay for things to help other DMs out. They actually have their own support area. You need a map, they're going to help you out. If you only got the map, most likely they have it. They will help you out with that. If they don't, they're definitely going to help you find something. And so, with resources like that, it helps to have a big file. And so the money that they get from all this goes towards helping other DMs, helping get players a DM, or getting a DM for you. And I think that's something they started doing recently with the funds. Yeah. So I'm not really sure. I know I've only been with them for about 10 months. And maybe a little bit less than that, because I did join the D&D Beyond server first. But what was it? Okay, so I set up a game in D&D Beyond, and I was getting a lot of horror stories from there. So I was constantly posting for new players and stuff like that. I believe... Well, I can't really... I don't... You know what? It doesn't matter. There is a user on there who goes by the name... I want to say it's 13ONG. Is that right, Temporary Siren? Or is it I? I can't quite remember offhand. And he got a hold of me through D&D Beyond. Like, he was watching D&D Beyond. He was stalking it. And I am glad he did. Because the players that I have, I couldn't ask for anything better. They're great players. Whoa! I'm knocking stuff over. Yeah. So I3BONG. Yes. So I know we're an 18 plus streaming channel. I call him Bong all the time. But it's just one of those things that I mean, it's funny. I laugh every time I get a message from him or anything like that. I just laugh because I'm like, who the heck is that? And then it takes me a second to realize who it is. But once you get to know him, you get to know the server, it's really great. They're going, I think, if I remember correctly, Temporary Siren, you guys are going through, I wouldn't say a management change, but you guys are going through kind of a restructure, I would call it. Yeah, I believe you guys just became an LLC, didn't you? All right. Yeah, and and they've done a lot. Them as a D&D community, they don't ask for money from the players or the DMs. They literally they're like, "Oh, you got to pay us $20." No, they're not like that. They pretty much are like, "You know what? If you got a few bucks this way, throw it this way. And we'll help you out. And we'll get you what you need. We'll help get you to where you want to be." And the reason I know that is Bong is actually my savior. If it wasn't for Bong, I actually would not be an online DM. I ran into too many horror stories, and I was just about to give up on it. I would literally, if it wasn't for Bong, I would not be here talking to you today. Yep. The Slad here was actually part of a giveaway that Temporary Siren was part of. And that's where I got this from. They sent it to me, and I was so excited for winning. I was like, you know what? You guys did me a huge favor. You gave me something to paint for a stream. Because even though I have my own 3D printers, my own CNC machines, I sometimes don't know what I'm going to paint you guys. And when I won this, I got it Saturday. No, I got it before that. I got it last Thursday, I think. I think I got it 2 days earlier than what I was supposed to. What was it? Yeah, it was about 2 weeks ago. I'd have to look at the messages to find out. But I was so excited about it. I was like, you know what? I'm going to do a shout out to you guys. I won it. You guys are going to be my sponsor for a day. Because granted, I've got to pay for the paints. But that's my choice, not their choice. Because as you saw, I chucked the paint. I didn't keep them. Because they want me to paint a red slad. That box did. Nice paints and everything. I've used their paints before. I did it on a troll for a dire troll for Trigger Happy. But apparently that got lost in shipping. Because I claimed the insurance on it since it still hasn't made it there. So I will be painting another dire troll on here. And that will be being sent to Trigger Happy. Gonna have to do something a little different this time, because there's no point in doing the same thing twice. Can't do it right the first time, don't do it at all. Alright, so there's the first part. Give that a moment. Let's actually go over to the WTFunk server. Let's take a look at them real quick. Alright, let's see. We're going to do that. Let that sit for a little bit. Alright. Alright, let's see. Let's see, we got good there. Alright. So we're over here at WTFunk. Alright, so starting off, you've got to do this whole, you got to do the login. I don't know if anybody new is here, so I'm trying to not stay on the screen too long because I don't know whose names are allowed and whose aren't. But basically, this is where you first come in. Hello, temporary siren. And basically, in order to go any further, you've got to go to, and you got to read the rules, figure out where everything is. And there's Bong. There he is. See, love his eye. And we go to rules. You know, definitely read the rules. You know, they don't have a lot. Hey, be respectful. You know, if it's gonna be disrespectful to anybody, hey, don't post it. I agree with that. You know, let's keep the correct posts in the correct channel. With what they do, yes, it's definitely necessary. It says the server is 18 plus. Those that are suspected will be kicked, and that's to keep problems out because we all cuss, especially some of the older adults. So it's a respect thing, you know. And sometimes it's just really hard to deal with parents. I think I've heard most of my horror stories from actually taking on younger kids, and the mother becomes a Karen because I'm not giving away miniatures to the kid. So, yeah. Don't disrespect anybody. That's really cool. Don't troll them. Don't make fun of people. The administrators, I'm not sure if Temporary Siren, are you one of them? But you got the mods. Yeah, temporary, you're a moderator. That's awesome. So, if you have a problem, go to them. They'll help you solve it. Let's see. Let's exit out of that real quick. Let's just stop that. All right. So, there's, Bong's a founder? Well, crud. See, I guess I jumped straight to the top of the line. When I did all my stuff, I went straight to Bong. But yeah, so I didn't know that. I became best friends with the founder of WTFunk. That is awesome. Call a feat in my own process, but hey, but they get final say over what happens. Awesome. Actually, I don't think I ever marked the rule to that, so I never agreed to the rules. Look at that, I just did. All right. And their final rule, one of the biggest rules for D&D is have fun. So, moving to the next tab, we got roles. They got a lot of them. It allows you, they have things so you can actually pick up a proper server. So if I'm in North America, you click the eagle. But I did have, they must have changed some stuff. I did have Europe picked. I did have South America picked. I had all of them picked. Because I want players from all around the world. I want a big, happy D&D family. But it does make scheduling a little bit tricky. Because it could be 8 o'clock here, my time. It's 3 o'clock in the morning, their time. Granted, I think it's a little bit more than that, but hey. I am a DM, so let's do a DM. Alright, so let's see, how did you find us? Technically, I found, you guys found me. But unfortunately, the option that I had here was not here. You didn't have D&D Beyond on here, so I couldn't pick that one. So I found Bong and me talked on Discord, and so I clicked Discord. All right, so this is where the things come into fun. All right, so here's their merch store link, and they've got some nice stuff. It's kind of like our store. They've got cups. They've got some other stuff in there. They've got dice bags and stuff like that. Which I'm going to have to actually get a hold of Bong to see if he can't help me set up in that store. Because I think that would be a lot better than Stream Elements that we use. So one of the things they've got is they've got giveaways. 100%. I join into them whenever I notice them. Let's see. So we're gonna go over here. Let's see. Mick Tot, she's the president, I believe, of WTFunk. Me and I said she. I believe I screwed that one all up. Whoops. My bad. But McTot is one of the presidents of it. Let's see. Let's see if we can find it. Let's see if we can find my name in here. Like, I've participated in. Yep. See, here it is. I've added to the giveaway. I've did players handbooks. I've done. Let's see if we can find another one that I did. Let's see. I think this was my first one. Let's see. Yep, there's my name there. See if we can find another one of the giveaways. Right here. Yep, another giveaway. D&D Beyond Essentials Kit. Given away by Darkest Power. You know? I've added to their giveaways. Vice President. Vice President. My bad. Let's see. Now, let's see if we can find where I got the sled. I know there's a link in here somewhere. You know, maybe one of these days I'll win a book from you guys. I'll actually get to choose my book. Oh, it looks like I haven't actually entered into a giveaway in a while. Because I was so happy about the slide, I kind of forgot. Let's see. Nope, I don't see it. Alright, so I know there's another one in here. And this is actually where... Let's see if I can find it real quick. Yeah, they've got a lot here. Daily giveaways. Temporary, you want to send me a link to that real quick? Oh, really? Okay. Well, that makes sense now. Because, yeah, you guys have actually added in a lot more channels recently. Like, they have their own rooms. They have... Let's see, like... They literally have the entire world in the palm of their hands. We got South America, Oceania, Europe, Asia, Africa, North America, play-by-post, paid games. Now, when I did DMs for What the Funk, I did them for free. But I do charge for my games. And that would have did explain all that. Yes. 100%. I believe you there. And that was kind of one of my biggest kind of things with you guys, with What the Funk, is they had so many channels that it took me weeks to remember what was what and where to find things. But they slimmed down. It's a lot more clean now. Like, we've got artist channels now. They used to have creation channels, or creation channels kind of spread around the area. But now it's looking for artists or commissions. They've got that now. D&D. Let's see. Dragon announcements. Let's take a look at this. Alright, so they've got meetings. Now, one of the really cool things about What the Funk is they've got classes. Like, you want to learn to be a DM? They've got classes on that. At least I think they're still going on. I've never been actually able to attend. And that's something that I thought was really cool. I think that I'm going to actually be doing a channel over there as well, as kind of a teach to paint kind of thing. Me and McTot were talking about that. You know, it looks like we got social administrator on there. Which is really cool. Let's see. There we are. Alright. But, if you are looking for a game, or need help getting a game, join the server. I've already sent the link, but I will redo it just so we know we've got the right one. Alright, we'll do it a couple of times just to make sure it proper works. There we go. But yeah, if you guys need a game, looking for a game, hit them up. Because they'll do you really good. And that also brings us to another thing. Like I said, they actually donate to Extra Life as well. It's actually kind of one of the main things that I stayed with them. And I'm glad I did. Because I got to see all the changes. I actually got to be friends with the founder of WTFunk. Which I just now realized that. And I think that's pretty awesome. And he created this just from a whim. He got tired of horror stories or something. I'm going to have to actually get a hold of Bong and actually send him a link to make sure he has it, because I know McTot has it. Let's see. The conclusion of the green grass event. I think that's what that was for, was the green grass event. But yeah. Alright, so we've got, look, WTFunk DMs. There I am. Right there. Right there. Woo! Look at that. Alright, and let's see. Where'd he go? Apparently only certain people can read this channel. Whoops, hopefully I didn't break any rules. Let's go back over here to, let's go character creation. Let's take a look at this. New character, publicly viewable and standard. Alright. Let's see, that's not what we want. Let's pick something else. Down square, into the forest. There we go, we got all of them. Let's see. Mod admin. You signed out! Temporary siren. Alright. With that, I would say temporary siren. Do you know if they actually, because I didn't notice it on here, but did you notice if they shouted out so that everybody could see it over there as well? Let's send a, let's do a quick message. Let's see. Alright, where? I sent her a message. Alright, him a message. I keep doing that. Whoops. They can kill me later. Alright, let's see. Let's take a look. Let's see. We have... wonder if there's anybody in a chat room. I don't know. Alright. I can't find the channel I was looking for. Maybe it's because I'm not looking hard enough. Let's see, payroll. I think we actually need to click on North America. Is that the right one? Yep. All right. So here we are. We got players and DMs right here. Let's go over. Let's take a look at Bong real quick. Sending Bong a quick text. Alright, we're going to go over here to What the Funk real quick. We're going to jump to Gateway real quick. See if we can get a high from Bong. There's Bong up there. We're trying to get him a new one today. Alright, well, we will come back to that. I think our paint sat long enough. We should be able to get the second coat of purple. And then when we get back, we will go over Extra Life. And we will go into a little bit of detail. Whoops, dropped my dice. And we'll go in a little bit of detail there. Alright, so again, don't leave your brushes tips down in the paint. It kind of ruins them. So we're gonna get a second coat of purple on here real quick. It needs it. I can see straight through it, but that's alright. So while we're doing that, and since we're doing a thin layer this time, let's talk about WTF. Let's talk about this purple slad here. Now, every time I think of a purple slad that has the ability to understand everybody's conversations, is able to talk to you telepathically, as long as he doesn't get hurt, he won't hurt you. He's still going to be strong enough. He's going to be a slad. He's going to be chaotic. So we definitely have a chaotic neutral here. You know, he knows that the gold piece represents something, helps him survive. You know, he's smart enough to use a weapon versus just his claws, which slads do tend to have. Some slads do carry weapons. Don't be afraid to make mistakes when you're painting miniatures, especially when it comes to the base coat and the main coat. We're going to get that on there, get it purple. Make sure we get rid of as much white as possible. Alright, let's see. Alright, so far this is what we have for a slad. It's actually really creepy. Looks like a purple blob right now, but that's okay. We're going to make it look better. Alright, let's get in there, that last bit. Alright, so we got purple as the base. Now we got rid of all of the whites on there. That's awesome. Whoa, whoa! Don't drop them. Alright. Got a second. So we got our base paint of purple. Most slides, I believe, have black claws. Let's stick with the black. Give it kind of a grayish black. Not quite 100% black, but enough to tell the difference. Whoa, too much. Oh wells. That's why we buy more paints. I'm not going to get stickled over for that. So, let's go ahead and get the claws painted. Alright, so we got that. He's got like a purple tint to it. I actually like that. That's pretty cool. Purplish gray black. It's a weird color, but hey, I actually like it. I think it fits. Alright, so get those claws that way. So, let's see, we gotta change our directions here. Get into that tight spot. There we are. Oh, it looks like I missed the spot where the purple goes, but that's okay. We'll get to it. Alright, let's see. There we go. Alright, so, like I was saying, like, this one's smart enough to know that gold means something to most people. And it's a good way to get what you want without having to get so heavy on destroying everybody. So, what's this one do? Well, it's gonna definitely it's definitely gonna not stay out in the open. Definitely gets hated by other sleds and other living sentient creatures out there. So he's gonna go where he can find the most peace. And I'm going to say that for this sled, WTF, he's going to find himself in a dungeon. Why a dungeon? Well, it's a place where he can be safe. You know, not have to worry about anybody. You know, and any unweary traveler, he might actually be able to help out for a few coin. What do you mean by a few coins, Dark? Well, what the F here is actually a merchant. He carries around on him a bag of holding on his back that whenever anybody is around, or whenever anybody is not around, he has everything loaded up. And he has his own kind of thing. Now, if he's in a selling mood, he might just start bellowing out while he's in there, in the dungeon. See if he gets any travelers that needs help. And you just might hear him just start kind of croaking out loud. Kind of in a low, guttural kind of a voice. It'll be kind of like, gold for items. And just let it echo through the caves. Again, just gold for items. I know, that was horrible, right? I think I scared everybody away. That's okay. But hey, each its own. But that's what the funk for you. But if you're enjoying this, even a little bit, you know, at least for today and tomorrow, for the rest of the week, we've gotten a total of, I think, $8, $10 for Extra Life. Just in subscriptions. I mean, I know it's not a lot, but it's a start. And we'll probably do this again because all the players, they think this is what we came up with, what we're doing is awesome. They love the fact that we're helping out people. And it's for a good cause. Parents don't have to pay for hospital bills. They take care of the children. I'll leave that there for a second. Let that dry. Give that a moment. All right. Let's see. What is this? Do 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 do. All right. All right. All right, so let's see. You got the base down. You got the purple down. Definitely got his claws down. Alright, so let's get a little bit more up here on his face. Let's go ahead and just cover the rest of his face. I think he would look better that way. So we'll go ahead and finish this face part off here. A bit here. Get a little bit more finer tip brush. Alright, that'll be over here. Do this. And we'll just touch up on those lips there. Alright, so we got that there. Alright, let's see. Touch up on these claws. Alright. So far, so good. So far, so good. Let's go ahead. Let's do this. Alright. Do some red. We'll do some glossy reds. A nice glossy red. Finer tip than that. Alright. Alright. Looks like Bong just waved hi to us. Alright. We'll take a look at that real quick. I'll show you, everybody. Look at that. Bong waved hi. Whee! And I don't know how to spell. Hello. All right. Whoa, what happened here? There we go. Sorry about that. Had a little bit of a flicker. All right. All right, let's see. So we got the reds here. So we're going to go through here. All right. Color's going to change a little bit. Just so I can see a little bit more. So it might get a little funky on video, and if it does, I'm sorry. Just so I can see. All right. So the item that I was telling you that oh, see, that's, let's see, let's go over here. I have one bong. Hello. See? But I like getting paint on my hands. It looks like I actually did something. All right, let's see. So, Bong, I just realized today that you were the founder. Now, if I'm going to be doing all that, Bong, you're paying for it. I'm sorry. But I just found out, Bong, that you want me to wear a pair of gloves just today. Now, if it's just for today, just wear a pair of gloves today, I think I have some non-latex gloves somewhere. Alright, so let's see. So they actually have the ability to breathe underwater, which gives them some gills. Let's go ahead and mark those. Let's get those up and running. Well, it looks like we still had a little bit of wet purple there. That's alright. Makes the colors blend a little bit better. So, the item I was going to go steal from my daughter's dolls was said satchel that this one carries on his back when he's not selling anything. There we go. Now we've got our gills. Dragging those up a little bit. There we go. Touch those up in a second. But yeah, I was going to go steal a little backpack to put on his back. Or her back, or their back. Like I said, don't know if there's more than one. Considering the fact that there's no lore on purple sleds. I don't mind wearing pink gloves, but I don't have any of them here. I think I have some little girl 4-year-old gloves, but I have paws compared to hers. But I completely spaced it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to 3D print him. Her, it, them. One that will fit on the back and clip into place. But till then, we'll stick with this. Maybe I'll find one of my 3D printed tabletops that I used for miniatures and like taverns. And I might put them in front of it and stage them in front of it. So Bong, did you I don't know exactly how long ago you joined in. Did you catch the slad's name? Looks like he might have gotten disconnected from us, but that's okay. We'll wait for him to return. So back to the lore of this little guy, or big guy, because they're considered giant toads, giant frogs. Um, because he's a mind flayer, a part mind flayer, part slad. One of the things that, because of him being what he is, one of the things that he is able to do is he's able to cast some types of magics. Not like the high-end ones like the Death Slads, the Grey Slads. But he's able to cast the spell Appraisal. He's able to cast the spell Identify. Basically everything he needs to be able to sell a magic item, buy a magic item, or just all in out be able to just empty you out of all your loot just so you ain't got to carry it around. So, let's some of this black right on here. Let's add some of this over here. Darken it up a little bit. There we go. That actually looks better. I like that better. Alright, so we're definitely going to give him some different color eyes than normal slads. Normal slads, I think, are black or something like that. I mean, if we were to go off the box, they're red with slits. Well, we're going to get rid of the red eyes. We're going to give him some green eyes. Definitely make it completely different than what you would normally see. Alright, so alright. Kind of wish I had some other... I got some metallics, but I don't know if I can make any blue metallics or red metallics. Ooh, I got the hiccups now. Well, I hope to see you soon, Temporary Siren. Ooh, I got the hiccups. Doing something there. Let's see. So now we've got green eyes. I like the way those gills showed up. Alright, now. Green a moment to dry. Get some of that black. some more green to the eyes. Hello, hello, hello. Alright. No, that'd be a little creepy. Alright, let's see. Go to the white. No, we'll go to the gray. We're in Underdark. So let's go ahead and do this. All right. But yeah, so we have WTF, which he learned was more polite to tell people than his real name when people would see him. He didn't realize that that was an insult or anything like that. He didn't realize that he was scaring the crap out of people. But definitely one of those ones to where It definitely grows on you. Because I'm pretty sure WTF will be showing up in any major dungeon to where they might be running low on supplies. And lo and behold, who's to show up just to give a helping hand and make a few coins? Just to be able to help everybody else? But WTF. So, he is definitely worth his weight in gold. Even if his own race didn't want him. But that's okay. Because not only will I take care of him, I hope my players take care of him. But if they don't, sleds have very high healing factors. So, you may be able to knock him down. You may be able to knock him out. But he'll come back stronger. And he'll take what belongs to him. And he's smart enough to know to not to do it on a head-on attack. So I'm going to pop him off the base real quick because I need to his base. Let's see. Alright, so we'll do all that. Alright, let's fix his smile. Shall we? As we can tell, I got some purple on his teeth. So let's fix that, shall we? Alright. I don't need a lot of white. Oh, zoomed a little off on the camera. We'll set it right there. We skip a frame? I think we did. But that's okay.